But moving on, I guess. I guess I'll do my number three since we're going back and forth.
Yeah.
Number three, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Really?
Yeah, my number three is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
Because Guardians of the Galaxy is an origin movie.
Yeah.
Usually with origin movies, they aren't that well paced. Like, how do I say this? It's basically introducing the characters of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
And with that, you have to break the movie into two segments, introducing the characters and then putting the characters in the fight where they have to resolve the conflict. Now, if it was a sequel, you could just go straight into the resolving the conflict, like the conflict and resolving the conflict. With origin movies, you have to, like I said, introduce and resolve. And the introduction is usually a bit slower. But with Guardians of the Galaxy, they did it. The introduction had a lot of humor, and I love humor in movies because I can't stand very serious movies
Yeah.
like depressing as shit movies. That's probably why I'll never watch The Leftovers on HBO because it's too depressing. I need a little bit of laughs.
Oh.
I need something to like. I don't want to go slit my wrist after watching
Yeah, you're
this,
just like,
dude.
wow, I feel completely terrible. Thanks for making me feel hopeless,
Yeah,
guys.
like I don't want to have a rehash for the Red Wedding. I,
Oh
I don't
God.
need that in a movie.
Yes, I hear you.
R.I.P. Rob. Um, yeah. So with origin movies, like with Guardians of the Galaxy, the humor was a big part of it, but the other movies on my list, they go straight into the plot. It's like Guardians of the Galaxy, they introduce a lot. Like they introduced Peter Quill, they introduced the wider aspect of the universe, but it's still introducing stuff. Like if you're not familiar with it going in, I don't know. It's hard to explain.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Well, that's cool. There you go.
yeah. It's basically my gripe with it is it's an introduction movie. Like if it was a sequel, it'd probably be higher, but it's not. It's an introduction. You still have to like get to know these characters. And a lot of people don't have the attention span for that. That's my thing behind it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, alrighty then.
All right, Jose.
For me, number three was none other than the monster that's on my arm right here, Gojira. It was
Of course,
Godzilla.
that's not surprising.
Yeah, Godzilla was my number three movie of the summer. Just because I felt like it was a really good reboot.
Hmm.
And like I said, I think everything like everything you touched on was just spot on, just for the most part.
Hmm.
Like I really wish Brian Cranston, spoiler alert, did not die in the movie. I wish he could have just carried this whole movie.
He did like what 45 minutes with that movie, right?
Yeah, I felt like this movie would have been a whole lot better if he'd have just casted some random person as his son, and his son would have died in the first Muto attack.
That would have been overly depressing, though, don't you
And
think?
so then yeah, but then this guy, this Muto basically caused the death of his wife and his son. So now you got like kind of a reason to hate this thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And then
It's like you have a
you're kind of
vendetta.
rooting for Bryan Cranston and I guess Godzilla to get revenge. Maybe I don't know.
No, I see your point because it's
Yeah,
like the character is personally invested into defeating Muto,
yeah,
and now because Bryan Cranston is such an awesome fucking actor,
hmm,
looking at the Emmys, you're now invested in that character who is also invested in defeating Muto. So I get what you're saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, the movie was like, but even then, what's the name? Kick Ass wasn't that bad. I mean, I felt like they could have did more with them if they were going to do more with them.
Yeah.
And yeah, I understand. I understand everyone's gripe that Godzilla wasn't in the movie that much longer. Like I said, like I'm used to watching Godzilla movies, and 85% of them are kind of like this. Godzilla just pops up randomly throughout the movie, and then he has his big hoorah at the end.
Yeah, I did catch that, and that was a nice homage to the old movies. Like, and it was like a nice like little tease to get you ready for the big final battle. Like, okay, here's Godzilla. Nope, can't have him yet. Here's Godzilla
Yeah,
again. Nope, can't have him yet. It was like that was nice. Like it gets you hype for the final battle.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, like I said, and yeah, just like I still remember like watching it in the theaters, and when he finally comes on screen, my just heart was racing. I was just ready. I'm like, let's go, son, let's go. And he did that roar. I'm like, I'm hyped. I'm done. Let's go.
It's about that long one where he was like in front of the Japanese lantern. He did
No, that
that
one was
one
pretty hyped too.
long roar.
That when he breathed his fire for the first time, it was a wrap.
Oh, that was so hype.
I'm like, even my brother and sister got hyped on that part. My sister started hitting my leg, and she was like, "He's gonna breathe fire! He's gonna breathe fire!" And I'm like, "Yes!"
I was like, let's go. I'll fight everybody in this fucking
Hell
thing.
yeah! I was like, "Let's fucking!" I'm like, "Nope, contain your hype, Jose."
Keep the Hulk in chains.
But yeah, like I said, I'm ready for the sequel. I'm glad this, what's his name, Gareth Edwards did this movie justice. I'm happy, like he really kept the spirit of Godzilla. You know what I mean?
He really did. Like, he
Instead of
wasn't
like,
like it was nice how he wasn't some kind of fucking mutated ass T-Rex. Like he's looking at you, Zilla, like he
yeah.
was. But no, it was a giant radioactive lizard. That's basically what Godzilla is.
hmm And then that random ending where he just kind of walks off and they're playing this epic music.
Hmm.
It really reminds me of the ending of the original Batman, like Tim Burton's Batman, where it just had this epic music playing, and then Batman's just standing on that building looking at the bat signal.
I
You know,
remember the sequel when Catwoman is like she stands up and she looks at the bat signal in the air.
yeah,
But it's kind of the same thing, I guess.
yeah, that like I don't know. That's what this reminds me of. Like he's just walking. He's like, well, my job is done. Epic
It's like,
music playing in the
yeah,
background.
I don't beat all the ass I could beat, so I'm just gonna walk away now.
Exactly. Give my badass roar, and then he just kind of hops into the ocean.
After taking a nap. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
understandable. He did go through a lot.
yeah, he did kind of get beat. The Mutos were kind of rough on him.
They was shanking him hard as fuck.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of curious to see what King Ghidorah is going to bring, because fucking Christ, that's like one of his most powerful enemies. So
It'd be really messed up like in the sequel. King Ghidorah just beats the shit out of Godzilla, like to the point where he has to retreat and run away. And
that
then he
would be
comes back, he
crazy.
just like hauls off and whoop King Ghidorah's ass.
Well, like I said, what if Mothra and Rodan are in the movie too? That might be like they might have to tag. Well, they probably are gonna
Yeah.
have to tag team them, kind of like the original movies.
Rodan's a pterodactyl, right?
Yeah, he's the big pterodactyl thing.
What use can he be though?
He flies really fast. Like in the Godzilla verse, like he is the fastest thing
I
in
guess. I mean,
history or whatever.
if you're like gonna collide into someone that could help, but
He
it
does that
doesn't.
too in the original movie.
It doesn't help when you're
It's hilarious.
jet ray taking on like a freaking wall. I don't know.
Yeah,
It
it's
doesn't
kind of
help.
funny because he does that in the original movie. Like King Ghidorah's flying, and he just fucking zooms into him, and they just crash.
King Ghidorah looking at him like, what the fuck were you planning on doing with that?
No, it works. Like he takes Ghidorah down. Like Ghidorah's like, well, damn.
I have been foiled yet
Yeah.
again.
I mean, he
Huh.
gets right back up, but I'm like, well, shit.
It's about what I expected from Rodan.
Yeah,
Because I remember watching a lot of Rodan movies, and he was always the first one to get taken out.
yeah. It's like, I don't know. They kind of beefed him up in the '90s series where he could breathe fire too, but I don't know.
Oh no, a fire-breathing pterodactyl.
Mm-hmm.
It's Beast Wars all over again.
Damn. Hashtag Beast Wars. Let's go.
I can see that being made into a movie, but I'm not gonna give Michael Bay any ideas.
Grimlock the movie. Let's go.
Oh God, please.
Uh,
Transformers is not on this list. Let's continue.
all right. Yes. Like I said, number 3 was Godzilla for me. Moving on.